Hello, my name's Liam and I work for a company called Theraposture, and we supply the Rotoflex bed, which has been around for a long time, over 20 years. And here's a good example of one of them. So what I want to do is to talk about typically who would use a bed like this and how you go about getting one. Most of the users of these beds have a common problem. They're struggling to get in and out of bed independently. Now, they may continue to struggle for some time, but eventually things often come to a crisis point, and this is often when we hear from them. And typically we're talking about people who may have a progressive neurological condition like MS or Parkinson's. It could be someone, for example, that just has very heavy legs and very low muscle tone, and they're struggling to lift those legs. In nearly all of these cases, then there are lots of risks and dangers if there isn't a solution in place. And there's also high dependency on other people helping them, such as carers, such as family members. But we do have a solution here that works. It's been proven. It's the Rotaflex. And, you know, the sort of scenarios we're talking about here that come to mind are, for example, there may be a husband and wife who have lived together for a long time and they've shared a bed in all of that time. One person struggles with bed transfers and they feel that they have to now have separate beds and perhaps have carers come into their home to hoist them. Well, that isn't the only option. You know, the Rotaflex can potentially do away with the hoisting process. And it can also reduce the amount of help that others need to give. So it may be that no carers are needed at all. Additionally, they may not have to have separate beds because you can use this bed in a combination, a bed for a couple to share with separate needs. So how do we go about supplying one of these beds? Well, it all starts with an assessment. This is an opportunity for one of our trusted assessors to come to have a look at the situation, have a first-hand appraisal of the difficulty so that we can make the right recommendation. Now, during COVID, this can still be done at home very safely with the use of PPE and safe distancing, but we can also do a video assessment where we can talk through with a number of people in the wider circle of care potential solutions like the Rotaflex. But ultimately, someone does need to try one. And one way that works very well, particularly for somebody who is at crisis point and they need a solution quickly, is to go for what we call a combined delivery assessment. So this is where a refundable small deposit is paid. We would then bring a bed to the person's home. The assessor would also arrive separately but at the same time. The bed is brought into the home. It's set up by our technicians in the bedroom, the best place to try it. The assessment is done. If the assessment is successful and the customer chooses to keep the bed, they pay the balance to take ownership. If it's unsuccessful or they just decide it's not for them, then we take it away, put everything back as it was, and we refund the deposit in full. So there are no risks. The only thing it will cost you is some time, but potentially there's a great solution delivered very quickly. Now, you can buy or rent these beds. If you buy them or rent them, you have a choice of a new bed or a refurbished bed. And obviously refurbished beds aren't always available, but they actually come from beds that we buy back from people when perhaps they no longer need them. So we do at times have stock, at other times we don't. But the buyback is important because when you look at the price of a bed, you need to take into account that potentially some of that money could be handed back. So the warranties that come with these beds are fully inclusive. They're 3 years, they cover parts, they cover labour, call-out costs, we offer weekend breakdown and public holiday breakdown. As I said, they're fully inclusive. There is no cost if you ever have a problem, which is very unlikely because the beds are so reliable. Warranties can be extended as well for up to 5 years. So this is the Rotaflex. I'm Liam. I work for Theraposture. We've got a great solution here to help people achieve independent bed transfers. Please get in touch. We're here to help you.